Thank you for joining us this Friday, the 18th of November. I'm Sophia, a market analyst with Bell Direct, and this is your weekly market update. Well, Australian mining stocks advanced this week amid signs of China's policy action reigniting demand for steel in the region. Now, China relaxed some of its COVID measures, which saw iron ore prices post a recovery earlier this week. In the weeks since the Chinese Communist Party's National Congress, there was quite a bearish outlook for China's economic growth. Rather, the party announced a 20-point COVID plan and a 16-point property rescue package. Support for China's property market included loan extensions for developers and small down payments for home buyers. China's announcements brought back optimism to the iron ore market, which helps some of the smaller iron ore producers needing higher contribution margins. So what does this mean for the steel producers? Well, the downside here is that it's hard for steel producers to turn a profit after a sudden rebound in the iron ore price. Now, they're currently operating at loss-making levels, and the steel price will need to rise just as much as iron ore to be able to develop a margin. Now, when considering if iron ore prices will continue to rise, it's important to remember that the demand outlook first needs to improve to see a further rise in iron ore prices. The probability of a price rise is increased if real estate companies can start increasing their cash flow. Off the back of the news this week, Fortescue Metals, BHP and Rio moved higher this week, boosting the materials sector, which gained 1.8% this week so far. Tech and consumer staples also moved the market higher, while domestic real estate was the worst performing sector. The ASX 200 has declined 0.31% Monday to Thursday. Fund management company Pendal PDL advanced the most this week, rising 18% after Perpetual, that's PPT, earlier announced a change to the consideration mix on the table regarding its planned takeover. And stocks that gained this week as well were Champion Iron CIA, Fortescue Metals FMG and Webjet WEB, while stocks that declined were Elders, ELD and Perpetual PPT, each falling more than 20%, as well as Core Lithium CXO and Orcam AKE. And the stocks that advanced on the All Ords this week were Whisper, that's WSP, Alpha HPA, that's A4N, and Hipages Group HPG. And the most traded stocks by Bell Direct clients were Brickworks, BKW, Core Lithium CXO, Pilbara Minerals PLS, Pinnacle PNI, and Lake Resources LKE. Clients also bought into Argosy Metals, that's AGY, and Terracom TER, while took profits from NAB, BHP and Westpac WBC. And the most traded ETFs were the Vanguard Australian Shares ETF, VAS, the Global X FANG Plus ETF, FANG, and Magellan Global, that's MGOC. And lastly, let's take a look at some economic data to watch out for next week. Well, locally, investors will be keeping watch of the RBA Governor, Philip Lowe's speech on Tuesday in hope of gaining an insight into the RBA's plans for interest rate hikes over the coming months. Then on Wednesday, the S&P Global Manufacturing and Services Flash PMI will be released for November. Now remember that the Flash PMI is a forward-looking estimate of the final PMI, which is set to be released the week after. This provides us with an indication of the direction of economic trends in the manufacturing and services sectors. Then on Thursday, the Fed will release the minutes for its November meeting, which will provide an idea of how aggressive the Fed's plan is to raise interest rates in the US over the coming months. And that's all for this week. I'm Sophia with Bell Direct. Have a great Friday and enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday morning.